The conception date is important, to know, but not, it can tie in with the astrology. You can always backtrack also, like the time that you were conceived. For Scorpios, it's very easy. Scorpios were conceived around Valentine's Day. So for me, I know that I was conceived around February time. You can look back at the 9 months before you actually were incarnated on this planet. But why the incarnation date, like the day that you actually come on planet, is important, is because that's the day that you're actually incarnating on this planet. You're no longer in the womb of mother, and also, the conception of being inside your mother is also important too, but the birthing and becoming born, like coming out of the womb, disconnection from umbilical cord, and the exact placements. So what a natal chart is, a birth chart is, it's like a snapshot of the sky, the asteroids, the planets, and the celestial bodies when you came out of the womb. So that has a lot to do with our human incarnation. I'm like very well versed and mastered in and continuing mastery. I feel like honestly learning astrology is a lifelong thing. So the sooner you get started, the more you're just going to keep your knowledge is going to go from there. And I don't think I'll know everything in this life, but I study tropical Western astrology. I feel like Vedic, that's something I am studying. I've always had it on the radar and studied like a little bit, but now more with the 13th sign coming in, and that 13th, the energy of the 13 and that being involved a lot in Vedic astrology. A lot of Vedic astrologers actually include the 13th sign because Vedic astrology is based off of the constellations. So there are the 13th constellation, there's more than that, but the 13th constellation that the sun goes through is the Ophiuchus after Scorpio. So that's included in Vedic astrology. And I feel like Vedic does a lot with the conception date. I don't know enough yet, and I don't do birth charts for Vedic, so I'm not too well versed. But of course, as soon as I do become aware of something, I come on and I share it with everybody. But why the birthday is super important is because that's when you are physically coming out of a womb into the earth plane, into the earth realm, no longer like encased in any safety or casing. And it's like your true incarnation in this body when your life experience and things like that will start. So I hope that answers your question. Good question, by the way. I love answering questions like these because the stars are my world. I talk people's ear off about astrology and it annoys them because they can't talk about it like I can. They don't have that passion about it, but like I literally could talk about astrology for the rest of my life and never get bored or tired because it's so fascinating to me. And also we're learning so much more about astrology and different systems of astrology and how they can serve us. So I think astrology is a great tool to know ourselves and our path and our true organic blueprint, like what we came into this life to do. I feel like that's all mapped out in the birth chart, as well as challenges and setbacks and even past life things. But I feel like Vedic astrology a lot more touches the past life stuff. So I hope that answered some questions and gave some research materials for anyone who wants to study more into different systems of astrology and why certain things are important.